People romanticize the docks. They imagine fog rolling in like spilled secrets, sailors swapping stories, ships carrying treasures and curses. What they don't imagine is the smell. Rancid fish, diesel fuel, and the kind of rot that clings to your soul. The kind that gets into your boots, your clothes, your lungs. I hate the docks. But that's where the money was. A man named Ellis Caro called me out there. Said his brother had gone missing 2 nights ago. Worked the graveyard shift moving containers. 1 minute he was loading up a crate, next he was gone. No blood, no struggle. Just his lunch pail and a crowbar left behind, both perfectly untouched. Normally I'd tell him to call the cops. But Ellis had that look. The kind people get when they've already tried the system and it spat them back out. That, and the fact he handed me a manila envelope with a wad of cash fat enough to make me ignore the sour stench of fish oil and guilt. I took the job. The docks at night are quiet in the wrong way. You'd expect wind, gulls, the slap of water against hulls. But there, it was just still, like the whole place was holding its breath. I started where his brother was last seen, Dock 7B. Security cameras were conveniently offline. The guard on duty said he must have stepped out for a smoke around the time the guy disappeared. Yeah, sure. I poked around, found the crowbar leaning against a rusted container. It was warm to the touch. Weird, considering it was nearly midnight and the air was cold enough to frost your breath. I circled the area. My boots echoed against the steel as I passed rows of identical containers, each more foreboding than the last. One of them had a symbol scratched into it. Just a tiny mark, low near the base. Not graffiti, not anything I recognized. Looked almost like an eye, if an eye had teeth. I touched it. The container hummed, not loudly, not like a machine starting up. Just a low, bone-deep vibration that made my fillings buzz and my heart forget the beat it was supposed to follow. I stepped back. Lit a cigarette I didn't even want. Just needed something warm in my hand that didn't feel like it was staring back. I kept going. 2 piers down, I found a maintenance shed that hadn't been used in years. At least it wasn't supposed to be used. The lock was new, still had the barcode on it. I picked it. Quietly. Inside was a makeshift office. Table, chair, papers, and a radio. The radio was on. No power, no wires, but it buzzed low and constant. Like it was catching a frequency it shouldn't. Every now and then, a whisper cut through. Words I couldn't understand, spoken too fast, too wet. I shut it off, or tried to. It kept buzzing. I left it. The papers on the table were shipping manifests. Most of them were forged, but one caught my eye. Dated the same night the brother vanished. Destination, nowhere. Literally. The field was blank. I memorized the container number. Left the shed. Back at Dock 7B, I found the container. Still sealed, still humming. I popped the lock with the crowbar. It opened slow, like it didn't want to. Inside was dark. Not the kind of dark that just means no light, the kind that eats it. My flashlight barely cut through it. The beam hit something metallic, something round. I stepped in. It smelled like brine and copper. My breath fogged instantly, and I saw my own reflection in a dozen small mirrors hanging from the ceiling. Weird, right? Not the weirdest thing in that container. In the far corner, I found a jacket. Ellis's brother's. Wrapped around something. Alive. It pulsed. I didn't touch it. Just looked. Listened. And I heard it. A whisper. Not from inside the container. From underneath. I backed out slow, closed the door, resealed the lock. Some things aren't meant to be found. Some jobs, you do enough to satisfy the client and you walk away. I told Ellis the truth. His brother wasn't there anymore. Might not even be dead. Just gone. He didn't cry. Just nodded and handed me another envelope. Asked if he should go looking himself. I told him no. Told him the docks don't give back what they take. And as I left, I glanced over my shoulder. The container was gone. No sign of it. No tracks. Like it had never been there. But the humming? I still hear it sometimes. Usually when I'm too tired to fight the dreams. Usually when I pass by the waterfront and the wind goes still. They say the sea holds secrets. They don't tell you it trades them. And I don't go to the docks anymore. Unless I'm paid very, very well.